Welcome to a story older than the time. A story of faith and sin, trust and mistakes. In the midst of colors, dark and light, mistakes will be made and trust will find you. It will then become a game, a mission of conquering, fighting, and prevailing. For the trust you nurture will bring you strength and vision. Suddenly, you will see life as it is, and trust that whatever finds you will either bring a lesson or a gift. And with this thought in your mind, you will always prevail.
So today's hike, as every solo hike, it brings, I think, something from deep within. If you stay in a prayer or so, and you pass the fear of solo hiking and all of that, and afterwards, it's just, I feel like you and God. There are these little flies flying in my eyes. That's why I have to wear the glasses. And today's topic, I think, was just mistakes. All the mistakes that I've made, but not in like I messed up something, but I was not believing in myself. I didn't choose to do something. I didn't have enough courage to do something. And I guess today's hike is about that, and hopefully this video is about that. Later on, if I find a place to sit, because I wasn't clever enough to bring a chair with me, because I thought this was just gonna be like 2-hour marathon through the forest. I found the most peaceful place in Fruška in Serbia, and I just love it here. I think there's a different way where I can access it by car up until some point, because I was hiking for an hour and a half through the forest uphill until I reached here. I was so red. Like a couple of minutes ago, I was red. Yeah, but yeah, so welcome to my and probably yours mistakes as well. Check out the most peaceful place ever. I was being silent for a while here, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I even cried. And I think this happens because all of us who live in cities, we are just bombarded with information, sounds, like to-do lists, light. There's a lot of light that we're exposed to, a lot of Wi-Fi, a lot of just too many things. Being in some kind of peace and quiet, like in a forest, it brings me so much peace, and I feel like I can also release this pent-up energy and the thoughts. I can just let it go into the air, into the forest, and just be quiet for a little bit. Just chill with God, probably. Just enjoy the peace and quiet, and enjoy the fact that you do not have to do anything, unless it's super late in the forest. Then you better be going home. You better be finding your way home.
Before we start, just breathe with me for a second. Let me show you what I'm looking at. Pretty cool, right? Okay, so now we're thinking and writing.
I'm finally alone and can actually film this video, which is amazing. And I think this is the time to film this if something else happens, what to do. So I've been thinking, and eventually I figured out that there are 6 things that I do to sabotage myself every single day. And you can do this too with me, like think about it and see if you resonate with many or all or any. But okay, let's start. Okay, number 1 is I find myself believing every thought and feeling that I have. And this is just crazy because we pick up so many feelings and so many thoughts from people around us, TV shows, books, whatever you're consuming, you are producing as well. So not every thought is a sane thought, and not every thought is a good thought for me. But most importantly, not every thought is my thought. A process of thinking is quite exhausting, actually. So to produce a thought that's original of your own, it's quite a challenge, actually. So believing that every thought is your thought is just a big no-no. Feelings, same thing as thoughts. It takes a lot to produce an original feeling, but we do react. We are more reactive than we are intentional. So, number 2, physical body. I do not exercise as often as I should. The reason why I don't exercise that often and move a lot like this, like before I was like hiking every weekend, I would want to do that, and same goes for exercise, like every day. But I started avoiding it because actually what I'm avoiding is a feeling of loneliness. So, like, I mean, gym, fine, I can go to the gym by myself, but like hikes and any kind of like travels, and I don't know, it's always better to have somebody, I guess, with you. I mean, I'm fine on my own, but it's not always like I don't always want to go and like do some deep thinking, and because it always ends like that. So yeah, that's why I don't move as much as I would want to, because I feel lonely, or actually I'm avoiding this feeling of loneliness. All right, sleep. Number 3, I go to bed late. I don't know why. I know that every time I go to bed at 10 p.m. or 11 p.m., my body just rejuvenates, and it's so good, and my hormones are so much better. And I don't know why I do that. So I've been thinking today as well about that. Maybe you guys share this as well. There is this insane, I guess, fear of missing out, a FOMO, because I don't know, I think we just live in that kind of time, and if you're not productive, you're almost like a piece of... I just listen to so many podcasts. I'm always learning something, and if I'm not learning something, I'm just like forcefully enjoying myself because I know that I should do that. So it's like, it's just a lot of pressure on being the best of that you can be, being the best version of yourself, being the smartest one, or actually being informed. This brings me to my next point, which is I do not have time to think. I've been thinking, like, why do I do that? And I guess it's just because I sometimes fear to think, probably, because thoughts can produce feelings, and usually what I think about are problems, or like it's either something creative or problems. I guess I just try to ignore it because I try to ignore the feelings that will come up. So I scroll on social media, pack my time with podcasts and many different things. Next thing that I do to sabotage myself daily is saying yes to too many things. This has been something that I've been struggling with since I was a kid. And I know that I'm like a multifaceted person, and I'm very creative. I have so many hobbies, interests, but I just keep saying yes to everything. Like, everything is interesting to me. Like, there's nothing in this world that I find boring. maybe there are a couple of things, but it's just like nothing is boring to me. Everything is interesting, and I want to learn about everything. I'm a very curious person. If you're choosing everything at once, I mean, it's not much of a choice, right? You're not actually choosing. So yes, you're just going with the flow, being like a river, but not in a good way. Okay, next thing, and probably the most important thing that I do to sabotage myself daily, is I trust the judgment. I trust the judgment of my parents, friends, bosses, systems. And I've been thinking, like, why do I do that? And I figured it's just because I'm afraid to make a mistake. And I don't have that much faith, probably, in myself. As many young people, it's hard to have faith in yourself when you don't have faith in God. I've been doubtful, probably because I haven't heard the whisper of the angels and God on what's my purpose, what am I meant to do in this world. And we all circle back down to that same question. But today on this hike, I've been praying a lot, and I just had this epiphany. And the epiphany is that there is no one purpose in life. You're not meant to be one thing. You're not meant to be a healer. You're not meant to be a mother. You're not meant to be a contractor or something like that. I mean, we all have so many purposes, and God is so great that He will use one life in so many different ways and make it beautiful and rich.
What do you think about this? I would love to hear a story from you. I love hearing stories from people from all around the world.
I believe that everything is created for the greater good, and for the greater good for me as well, in my best interest, and for all of my life's purposes that are yet to be discovered. But the only thing, and I find so much peace in that. The only thing that I have to do is just follow the things that I find adorable and empowering and expansive. The only thing that I have to do is to just show up every day. That's it. Show up and do your best. But then again, there are sometimes these days when
you can be in silence. And if you can't figure out all the things that you want to do during the day, you can just be quiet for a little while, and I think you will find the answer. And I'm pretty positive because it has worked for me every single time. And when it comes to these mistakes, I'm gonna try to do better. I'm going to remind myself daily to overcome these and to have more faith. I'm sending you a lot of blessings, a lot of love, and a lot of joy, and I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're creating things, because that's our main purpose, to create.